Baddie behavior. Baddie behavior. Classic, we're out and about. Obviously, this is a Baddie original.
Welcome to Baddie Behavior episode 4. I am Marjana, and this is Baddie Behavior. What makes someone a New Yorker? Now, this is a really hot topic. It's delicate. I don't know why. Baddie Behavior, we are here in New York City, based in New York City. This is where I live. This is where I design. This is where I get my inspiration because this is where my life is. This is where I'm from. The energy here, you can't beat it. So what makes someone a New Yorker? I think as someone who is a New Yorker, I can speak on this. And if you don't agree, I don't care. You are born a New Yorker. And it's not what you think, like being born here in New York City, which I was. I was born in Manhattan at Lenox Hill Hospital, February of 1993. Amazing time in New York City. That was the last time I lived in New York City. Rent-free, but no, it's fine. New York has that energy that you can't replicate. Some people have it and some people don't. I think New York is a baddie energy. Basically, I bottled up what I feel New York is like for me and I put it into baddie behavior. And there's some people that really do give this baddie New York energy. Helen Keller, deaf, blind, okay, writes a book. You know you can go on YouTube and see her? Helen Keller, 1880 to 1968. Okay, was a prolific author, activist, and humanitarian who accomplished many things. Okay, this is what Google said. So the first thing, civil rights, Braille, education, writing, speaking, socialism. Oh, she was a socialist? Oh, that's not communist. Okay, sorry. I think that's like Bernie Sanders, socialist. I don't think she's done what she said she's done. It says she flew a plane over the Atlantic. Absolutely not. You know who did? Amelia Earhart. But I respect Helen Keller because she's a baddie. She didn't do any of this, any of these things, and we all believe it. And we ate it up. That's baddie behavior. Amelia Earhart, baddie. I don't think she even crashed. She didn't want to be around anyone anymore. Baddie. One quote by FDR. Teddy Roosevelt said this about his daughter. I can do one of two things. I can be president of the United States, or I can control Alice, his 19-year-old daughter at the time. I cannot do both. She owned a snake. She was busy. He's like, I'm either going to run this country or worry about my daughter. You choose who I should focus on. Baddie alert. It's just beautiful. I really resonated with that. It made me feel seen, and I wanted to share that with you today. Be like Alice. Be a baddie. Yeah. But being a New Yorker, you were born to be a New Yorker. I think it takes more guts for someone that's not from the tri-state area to come into New York City and start a life. We moved upstate. My soccer practice would be in Harlem. We'd drive from Albany to my soccer practice, and then ODP would be with the Westchester and the Manhattan girls and Long Island girls. And I lived just far away where you couldn't really commute to the city. So everyone from high school and after college would move to the city. So like if you're from like Long Island, a little bit closer, a lot of people would stay at home and commute in. So I kind of like that. I was a little bit stone's throw away. Like it was like probably 30 to 45 minutes too long to actually commute. I've never left New York State to live. You know, I've been to college here. I went to Marist College and then I went to Fordham. I played soccer at both. I've never left New York State to live. I've been to college here. I went to Marist College and then I went to Fordham. I played soccer at both. So this is something that I'm used to. So I think if you're from like Nebraska, Idaho, more power to you. You are a New Yorker. You're true. In your heart, you want to be here. All that counts. And there's some people that are born in New York that it's not for me. Let me get out of here. So being a New Yorker, if you pay rent in New York City proper, 5 boroughs, you're a New Yorker. Let's be real. If you're putting your tax dollars in here, you are a New Yorker. If your license is not New York and you live here, you're not committed. You're not. Out of the womb, I've been a New Yorker. This is just something I'm used to. This energy is, I think, crystallized in me. I thrive on this environment. I need this constant flowing of ebbs and flows of chaos and then not and calm. So my first memory, we lived in Queens. We lived in Rego Park. My mom has 4 kids under the age of 4. I'm running up the stoop and this is something, a problem I actually have still to this day is when I run or walk upstairs, I fall down them. This is also, I think, why I have so many foot issues. My foot is very small. I'm almost 5'10", and I have a size 7.5 women's. If you know anything about anything, that's really not proportionate to a human being. So I combined with playing soccer and being a small cleat, I think that's the perfect recipe for my injuries and genetics. So regardless, I run up these, it's like concrete like steps, a stoop. You know what a stoop is if you're in New York City. If you're not, it's just like outdoor stairs. And I fall down and then I hit my face and just gushing blood. And I'm like literally nonverbal at this point. I didn't speak till I was like, honestly, 5 or 6. Like you couldn't get something out of me. I couldn't hear. So I was like partially deaf but not legally deaf. I just also had a twin sister who would just say what I needed. I couldn't hear. Anyway, so I was a quiet kid, but I hit my face and I just blood. The flap of my nose is off. My dad's at work he's a super, and my mom, she runs into the apartment and she calls a cab because at this point, no one has cell phones. It's 96, 97, 90, whatever. And she calls the cab. Okay, she's like, my daughter's bleeding. I need to go to the hospital. She needs to get stitches. They're like, okay, we're coming. So like 5 minutes later, it's not a cab. It's a limo. It's a white limousine that pulls us up. They're like, Maureen. And she's like, okay. She's like, being in New York, nothing faces you. She's like, get in, kids. So everyone's enjoying themselves in the limo. I'm gushing blood. And my sister, I saw her smiling. And like, I'm just so glad that someone's enjoying this. And I'm like, you know what? I should be going to the hospital in a limo. This is something that felt normal to me. That was my first experience going to a hospital besides being born. So I was just like, if you get injured, you should be going in a limo. And my mom's just like, okay, let's do it. And also that's why I'm a Mets fan, because like we lived in Queens. Like you have to rep what you know and who you are. And my siblings are Yankees fans because they want to win. But I'm more of like a rep that hometown. Also, I just honestly like the colors better. I liked the royal blue and orange. So as an adult, this will be my 10th year as an adult in New York City. And when you hit 10 years, everyone says, oh, that's when you can be a New Yorker. Whatever. If you're here during COVID, you're a New Yorker. You're a New Yorker if you grew up here. Like no one's debating that. No one like, yes, keep that. You use your Metro card in high school. Amazing. I was in the suburbs. I loved it. I don't care. But also I'm still a New Yorker. Like whatever. The city gives so much. If you can give something back to New York City, if you can put your staple in there, you are a New Yorker. So, I mean, I'm born in New York City, check, fine. Lived here as an adult 10 years, check. Lived here as a child, yeah, 100%. But I don't care about that. What I care about is this. Not my heart. This. You can't see if you're listening. I have a sandwich named after me at this deli in the West Village down the street from me. It's called Four-Way Deli. It's on 6th Ave. Let me just look at my shirt. Oh my God. 251 6th Ave, New York, New York, 10014. That's where you can get my sandwich. If you're new here, which probably you're not because you know me if you're seeing this podcast. Anyway, I'm on TikTok and I would like vlog my days. And this was like 2 years ago. I would rollerblade on the West Side Highway. On the way home, I'd be hungry. I'd roll into my bodega, my deli, and order. They had this like a spicy chicken cutlet there that we loved. We'd be like, okay, we play music, we dance. I'm like, and I'd just like record myself getting it. Or if I was going to the store that next day, I'm like, can I have my sandwich? I love this spicy chicken cutlet so much. I would order it and then it would pop off on TikTok. What sandwich did Mara get? This is her deli, blah, blah, blah. And then Sammy's just like, I can't believe people keep asking me. So he's like, I'm going to just reprint the menu and put your sandwich that you get on here. Cause like, I don't want to explain. I'm like, you know what, Sammy? Enough said. Literally, I'm like, okay. I literally said, okay, like whatever makes your life easier. I'm sorry. But so like he actually did it and like so quick. And Mar the Star, my handle for TikTok and Instagram, and it's a spiced chicken cutlet. Well, this is the sweatshirt. Oh, I'll put a picture in, but on the back says, is it spiced chicken cutlet, bacon, lettuce, tomato, little bit of ranch, mozzarella on a hero. This is like, I eat this like, it's a big girl sandwich. Like you're going to have it for probably lunch and dinner, the same one, but I eat it in one breath. So I eat this like 2 to 3 times a week. It's like a staple. It's like not something I deviate from. Me having a sandwich named after me, I have 30 and some change thousand followers on TikTok, but it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It's the impact you have, and like, people see it and people want to be involved, and it's part of my life. It's authentic to me. Like, I would not do a sandwich if it wasn't, I would not eat it. I'm the only sandwich at the deli that's named after a person, and I think it will probably stay that way. Give you something back. You are a New Yorker. I have a master's degree. I've worked for MTV. I've been to the VMAs. I've sung in an elevator with Mariah Carey, and we'll talk about that later. I've seen the world. I've been to the best McDonald's in Paris. I've won championships. I've went to the NCAA tournament. I've lived. Nothing has come close to the amount of pride I get of having this sandwich named after me. I gave something back to my hometown of New York City, the cute little neighborhood of the West Village, and that's something a lot of people cannot say. I truly love it, and it reflects my palate, my taste palette. He did add ranch to like spice it up a little bit, and I said, okay. I'm like, let me step out of my comfort zone for a second. And after I got that, it elevated the sandwich. So it was like a work together. This is what I would get, but he was like, listen, I know your taste. I think we can make something work. So we have that, and then I have posters in there, and I have a bigger space now. I'm outside, so I'm working on creating a bigger one. I need to get my tape measure out. It's probably 4 feet wide, 4x6. No, 4x5 or whatever. The energy of New York City is so random. It will chew you up and spit you out, sure. But if you feed it, if you lean into it, you will create something memorable here. Being part of your community is important. Going to the laundromat, saying hi to your laundromat people, going to your bodega, saying hi, they get to know you. The other day I was so tired from my shifts from my retail job, Viore. I couldn't get up. I was like, I just want to order a bacon, egg, and cheese from my bodega. So I ordered it, and it was my second day in a row. I was just so tired. And Sammy, he owns a deli with my sandwiches. He texts me, hey, how are you doing? Thinking about you. Everything good? And like the second after I ordered, because he gets the orders. And I was like, I sent a picture. I'm like, yes, all good. I'm so tired. I need to stop by. But he was usually like, I'm hungover when I order, but like I was not hungover. But he was just trying to make sure. And no matter what you think, people do notice your presence. If you're gone, if you're not, like you are important. People see you in their day, and it brightens their days. These little interactions are what makes the world go round. I will die on that hill. But I'm texting Sammy, and then he always sends me Ferrero Rocher and like a Pepsi. And he sent me sparkling water because I think he knew I needed to hydrate. But I sent him a picture. I'm like, thank you for always taking care of me. He goes, of course. And like that, I could shed a tear. New York City, people say New Yorkers are not nice. That is the furthest thing from the truth. No. If anything, we're more of a tight-knit community. Saying hi to your neighbors will change your life. Saying hi to people on the street, just pick your head up, sitting on a bench, saying hi to the person next to you, not listening to a song sometimes. That's where I make connections. And like, I'm a curious person, and sometimes I get in my head. I have anxiety. I'm anxious. So I want to be more present. If I'm thinking too much, I'm like, no, I need to like days when I have like a panic attack or things where I get overwhelmed. But I've been dealing with this since I was, a child. So I didn't know what it was, but life is hard sometimes. And that's part of it, the ups and downs. And like, it's grueling, but getting up and I'm so grateful that I can just be in New York City. I would go to Central Park, talk to people, see people feed birds, go to a museum. Like a lot of anxiety stems from like, honestly thinking about yourself too much, at least for me, like overanalyzing things, just stepping outside of your body and just giving it a break and being like, hey, talking to anyone, like, and really seeing what's happening around you. Like humans are so cool. I think it's fun. That's why I enjoy being in New York. These little micro moments is what makes New York spectacular. And I could not leave my block for like a week, like my neighborhood, and I have so many things going on. Like I was walking in Soho. I straddle Soho, the West Village, and Greenwich Village. So technically I live in Greenwich Village, but the next street over is Soho. The next street over is the West Village. So I like to call it the Tri-Village, but I don't think it's caught on, and I haven't really tested it out because we have Tribeca, the triangle beneath Canal Street. I'm in the sweet spot. So I was walking. I was going to go meet my friends last week, and I'm just like walking Soho like I usually do. And you just never know what's going to happen. I was in actually like a normal outfit for once, like because I was going to a tree lighting with my friend, and I got stopped, and I was like listening to like hardcore Katy Perry song. Like I love her. If you know me, you know that. But I was like walking, like shredding. I hear like randomly this guy like comes with a microphone up to me. He's like, and in Soho and all that happens. He's like, what makes you confident? I'm just like, I was like, what? I honestly was so confused. And he was like, and then I was like, oh, sorry, I have somewhere to be. And then he's like, no, it's like a few seconds. I'm David. He's super nice. So he has this TikTok that I've seen before, but I didn't clock it. What did I say? I don't remember. Definitely said Katy Perry, like I think 4 times. And then he wanted to get more deep. And I was like, oh, okay. Like getting asked those questions are kind of jarring. I talked about music and how I love that. Listening to a good song really makes me confident and like knowing myself. Like then he went back to like my childhood. He's like, were you always like this? Like how I acted. I'm like, yeah, like it kind of was. And he's like, I'm like, my twin sister gave me confidence. She would always hype me up. Like from the womb, I was always performing, doing that. So like, it was really cool and reflective. And I still think about what does make me confident. And being a baddie makes me confident. It's not like having, not like a persona, but like being able to give yourself permission to be yourself makes me confident. Figuring that out instead of playing other people's rules or doing that. It takes a while to unprogram that because we're taught from a young age to follow the rules, to fit in and do this. But like, what if we were never meant to do that? And school like indoctrines us to like do these tests, do it this way, seeking approvals. But I thought it was really cool. And I don't know when the video is coming out. It will be out there, but it will definitely, you'll hear Katy Perry. Being in New York City, I love walking. I'm at my parents' house in the suburbs and I cannot go on a walk. I'm not stimulated. And yeah, it's nice to go out sometimes, but I don't really go home that much. I'm here. But when I'm going on a walk, I will get inspired. I can see a window pane and something will spark. Like being in New York is so important if you're young and creative and you want something to do because everyone's doing something. I keep hitting my head on this thing because I have no spatial awareness. I actually do. I have really good spatial awareness for soccer. But in real life, I walk into doors and frames and things. Anyway, so I was leaving for work. I had a 6 a.m. shift today for Viore, and I didn't know. I thought retail was just going to be working at the store selling clothes at like, from 2 to 4 p.m. sometimes. Retail's hard. Whoa, like working retail and running my own business, doing e-commerce, like I want to make sure I know what's going on. I want to learn. Also, I need to make some extra money to be totally transparent. Bills, it's expensive running a brand and having a warehouse and operating things. And if I want samples of things going forward of what I want to see, that takes a couple extra $100 every here and there. So this helps cover that. And also I'm learning a lot and I'm getting inspired and talking to people and seeing that. And it's hard. So today I had a 6 a.m. shift. I kind of don't mind it because I wake up. I'm just like, I can't even think. So I wake up, I go, I'm like, I'm cold, whatever. I get outside. Anna Wintour is my neighbor. I don't know if I've said that before. She lives across the street from me. And I see her a lot. I don't really interact with her. She's seen me and my bad behavior stuff. She knows I exist. Was I rollerblading in our street to do a photo shoot, and she happens to walk by to her driver, which I know, hey Sing. Yeah. And she's going to work. She's busy and she respects hustle. I'm there at 7:30 in the morning doing that. She getting the shot because I need it. It was a little thing. I walk outside. I wasn't like really excited to go to work. I was like tired. So I walk out and I see her lights on. Like when I'm telling you, I walk out her front door, her whole brownstone. She has a gorgeous townhouse. I'm in a studio apartment, but we live on this James Street. That's why also I love New York City. Are you kidding me? Like she sees the same exact garbage cans I see. I'm just like, it kind of like democratizes things. Yeah, she's in a huge house, but I think my apartment is a penthouse. I love it. So anyway, I see her lights on and I'm like, it's 5:17 in the morning. I'm like, if Anna Wintour's up, she's working, she's doing something. I'm up, I'm doing something. And it gave me a little pep in my step. I went to the store and I unboxed. We got shipments. I unboxed it the best that I could do. Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to be the best at it. If I'm unboxing these boxes, if I'm cleaning the floor, if vacuuming, I am going to do it because I respect myself. And this is what I'm doing at the moment. This is important. I pride myself in whatever situation I'm in. So I'm going to lean in. And also it makes it more fun. I'm not doing it because I'm an amazing person. I'm doing it because I'm bored half the time. I'm like, let's just see what's going on. So I'm opening the boxes. I'm like, just knowing she was up and like, never going to bother her and all that. But just like, she's up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm making $20 an hour. But you know what? We're kind of doing the same thing. We're on this earth together doing that. So that was cool. That's why I love being in New York. You can make it your own. I don't feel alone in New York City. There's times where like I felt lonely, but I was never alone. And being in New York, I love knowing that people are next to me. I have neighbors I'll never ever know who they are. They can see my window, I can see them, but like there's a comfort when I am in my apartment settling down for the night and it's dark. I love it when it's dark. I don't mind when winter. I actually love winter. I like that it gets dark early. Summer when it's light out too much, I feel like I should be doing something all the time. But winter, I see everyone's TVs. They're big plasma screen TVs. I know what they're watching, and you just like see the little boxes, and they're around like my age, young women, and they leave their windows open like they're shades, and I leave mine. It's just like nice to see they're living their lives, and like I feel part of it. So I really do appreciate being in a city like that, and also this part of my life. I'm just grateful I'm in charge of myself and just doing that so I can be selfish and run my brand and do that. But yeah, there's something beautiful about being in New York City and like having everyone be part of it. And like, yeah, there's times where like you need to go get some space. I was in Montana this summer, one of my best friends like bachelorette, and it was all the Fordham girls. It was so fun. Honestly, the trip of my life. I've never been out west like that. I've been to California, I've been in Texas, but never like really. So like I went there and my friend Katie thrived. You couldn't find someone who loved Montana more like in it. And like I couldn't deal with the dry heat. My body couldn't do it. And the vastness of Montana and those mountains. Whoa, like nature. I felt so anxious being in nature like that. It was so vast and so big. It made me almost spiral a little bit. And I know people are like, oh, nature's peaceful, but like I also get anxiety about thinking of like the world ending and space and all of that. So like that kind of, maybe it's part of me. I realize I really do enjoy being part of a city. I'm glad I did the experience. It was so great, but like I really appreciate being in New York City and being here. And there's some people that are city people and there's some people aren't. And I get it. There's some people that are like here for their 20s and want to go to the suburbs. Sure, I'll have two houses, 100%. Maybe like I have a Hamptons house. Yeah, I just need a home base here. Knowing yourself, knowing what you need is the most important thing. New Yorker or not, you inherently know what feeds your soul. Nothing is really that serious to tie you down. Yeah, there's family, there's friends and all that stuff. But be like that girl from Nebraska who left everything she knew to come to New York City. Whoa, that girl has guts. Everyone's like, oh, she's basic. No, she's not. She's chasing her dreams, starting over here. Are you kidding me? That is so cool. And I don't think I'll ever leave New York City like as my main base. I've traveled and been around the world. There's nothing that's kind of done it for me in that. I can't live a slower life, at least right now. I don't never say never, but I will always have a place here. Yeah, if you're in New York City and you want a good sandwich, you got to try my sandwich. Mar the Star, number 9, 4-way deli. I also have amazing gear. It's a vibe. It's a bodega vibe. I call it bodega baddies. It just goes with everything. So I don't know. I'm so proud to be a New Yorker. I'm proud to be here and represent and be part of this generation. And I'm excited that anyone that wants to visit and be here, we welcome you here in New York City. We love having you. It was sad. During COVID, there was no one here. And you could really tell you want to be in a place where people want to be. You're telling me I lived in Soho and now I'm across the street in Greenwich Village. Everyone's like, oh, Saturdays are crazy here. Yes, it should. If no one wants to be here, then you have to worry a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. My zip code is the best zip code on earth. Are you kidding me? I'm so proud of that. I'm proud that I get to be here and live here and be part of this ecosystem. So if you don't want to be around the tourists, go to Brooklyn. Get out of here. Go to Brooklyn. I'm sick and tired of people slandering Manhattan. It's cool to live here still. It will never go out of style. Being from Manhattan, okay. Oh, that's embarrassing. No, it's not. You know what's embarrassing? Yeah. Why are we fighting? Why are the boroughs fighting? Everyone has something to offer, even Staten Island. I'm sick of it. They have great bagels and great people and great attitudes. Figure it out. No. I've lived in 3 boroughs. Manhattan, Queens, Child, the Bronx, College. And my cousins are from there. Brooklyn, my dad lived in Brooklyn and Carroll Gardens. It's not cool. It's not cool to divide people like that. Yeah, New York or nowhere. Well, can I say it? New York or nowhere. I have that picture up there. Can't really see. I think there's a quote I had besides my bed. The beauty in New York. Hold on, let me look up. There is something in the New York air that makes sleep useless. You just feel alive here. Wherever you get that excitement in life is important. We would drive to the city and my stomach would flutter seeing the skyscrapers. It was just like my favorite thing ever. And we had also like a beach house in Breezy Point in Queens in the Rockaways, and you could see the skyline from the beach. Like I'm like 12 seeing this. I'm just like, this is the best boogie boarding here. Then I'm looking at the jetty at New York City, the skyline. I'm like, this is just like the best place ever. Just knowing the whole world is here makes me feel honestly safe, and it makes me feel protected. And I don't know how to explain it other than that, but I love New York City, and anyone that's here, I'm so happy you're here. And if you want to come here, literally come try my sandwich. So being a New Yorker is a state of mind, 100%. The only one native here is the Native Americans. Are you kidding me? We all came through Ellis Island. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend. Oh, transplants? Okay. Let's just chill. If you want to come to New York City, enjoy. Get a piece of pizza. The best pizza, Joe's Pizza. Also, oh my God, the best pizza is like in the Bronx. Hands down. Arthur Ave, Tony and Tina's. Let's go. I'll see you next time, you little baddies. Bye.